In Maxwell trial, defense expert Loftus gets $600 hourly with Harvey Weinstein link objected to by Matthew Russell. Lee Patron song video ruling. BBC, Decrypt, Light Read, Radio, Podcast. SDNY Courthouse, December 16. Ghislaine Maxwell, charged with sex trafficking and other charges, is amid a trial that started on November 29, after the November 23 final pre-trial conference. Vlog here. On October 29 and again on November 12, Maxwell and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York filed a flurry of motions in limine, heavily redacted. The government argued that trial exhibits are not public and will be withheld. Inner City Press opposed and opposes the continued secrecy. And CDC op-ed here. On December 16, after a 3-day hiatus as Judge Nathan went to D.C. seeking 2D Circuit seat, Maxwell's defense began, with her executive assistant Cimmerly Espinoza. Inner City Press live tweeted here, 8:45 a.m. live stream here, podcast here. On the afternoon of December 16, defense witness Elizabeth Loftus, getting paid $600 an hour, took the stand. Inner City Press live tweeted here, podcast here, live stream after asking Maxwell's brother if UN has responded to their petition. It hasn't. Here from 36 hours 40 minutes. Maxwell's lawyer wants to put in prior inconsistent statement of survivor witness Carolyn, after they finish the paid memory decay expert Loftus. Judge Nathan, what else? Maxwell's lawyer, the U.S. rebuttal expert, I'm prepared to file something if they actually call the expert. Judge Nathan, Hamilton, Everdell, we reached him, he can do WebEx tomorrow. Sternheim, because of his condition, we haven't spoken. Jury entering. Maxwell's lawyer, Dr. Loftus, are you aware of image-enhancing memory distortion? Loftus, it makes people feel better about themselves. Maxwell's lawyer, I asked you about CV, so I move into evidence your CV. Also, objection. Judge Nathan, I am allowing in Dr. Loftus' CV. Maxwell's lawyer, what are you charging? Loftus, $600 an hour. Maxwell's lawyer, media distortion includes dramatic portrayals, right? Loftus, oh, yes. Cross-examination. Also Pomerantz, let's talk about consulting. You've done it with defense attorneys hundreds of times, right? Loftus, probably. Also, you've only consulted with the prosecutors 5 times, right? Loftus, right. Also, in your book Witness for the Defense, you wrote that you should be an advocate. Loftus, that leaves out the context. Also, you don't sit in courtroom, you weren't present for testimony on this case, right? Loftus, I was not present in the courtroom. Also, you're charging the defendant $600 an hour right now, right? Loftus, yes. Also, you were paid for high-profile defendants, right? Millions of dollars? Loftus, I don't know how much. Also, in 1975 you didn't charge $600 an hour, right? Loftus, I did it free. Also, you market yourself by testifying, right? Loftus, I don't market myself at all. Also, you give lists of your cases to defense attorneys, right? Loftus, when asked. Also, you testified for Harvey Weinstein, right? Judge Nathan, just a moment. When they resume, there's no more mention of Harvey Weinstein, at least not yet. Also, when you testify for high-profile defendants, it brings you more business, right? Loftus, maybe. Lawyers return from sidebar. Loftus, some falsely remembered touching Bugs Bunny's head and him saying what's up, doc, what's up doc, $600/hour. Also, there's a science museum experiment, right? Also, and the Lost in the Mall study -25% misremembered, right? Loftus, correct. Also, I'm not going to ask you to describe a rectal enema, but it's a painful procedure, right? Loftus, yes. Also, this memory could not easily be implanted. Redirect. Maxwell's lawyer, there are restrictions on what kind of studies you can do, right? Also, objection. Judge Nathan, I'll allow it. Loftus, we can't implant memories of sexual abuse. Maxwell's lawyer Everdell, so for Annie Farmer, you have records from 1997 to 2006? Isnerin, yes. Everdell, and this one, for Jane, you see her date of birth, right? Can I say the year? Doxing alert. Cross-examination. Also, what are the differences between CBP record before and after 9/11? Isnerin, the further back you go, You won't get an on-board or not on-board status. Also, so the ones before 9/11 were not as complete. Isn't not all the time. Judge Nathan, at 4:52 p.m., defense may call its next witness. It's Dominique Hypolite, Maxwell's lawyer. Where do you live and work? Hypolite, Palm Beach School District. I coordinate the processing of subpoenas and represent the district as records custodian. Maxwell's lawyer, may I approach the witness with a document? Judge Nathan, it's 5 p.m. Let's end for the day. Also, we could just stipulate to this. Defense, remaining witnesses Eva, Michelle and Kelly, depending on your rulings. Judge Nathan, letters due at 7:30 p.m. Inner City Press will report, if they get docketed. Defense, we might end tomorrow, or on Monday. Judge Nathan, closings on Monday, then charge into the jury. So, before Christmas, countdown. Judge Nathan, this is usually the point I locute the defendant, that is, ask if they'll testify. Defense, let's do that tomorrow. Judge Nathan, so we'll do the closings and charge on Monday, meaning, deliberation on Tuesday, December 21st, Christmas. Judge Nathan, so we're done. You'll get the draft charge tomorrow. With defense agreeing closings Monday, seems clear Maxwell will not testify. On December 10th, leading up to the U.S. resting of its case, Annie Farmer was cross-examined, then her ex-boyfriend and mother testified. Inner City Press live tweeted it here, podcast here, stand up, Mac's sister, and circus. Again, where is the press opposition to all this sealing? And the decision maker? Inner City Press is covering the trial, and all that comes before and after it. Court case cast and Song I, Song 2, Song 3, 5th Song, November 27th Song, December 4th Song, and now December 11th Song. On October 18th the U.S. Attorney's Office opposed the request, saying that the voir dire questions should be asked by Judge Nathan, and that there should only be sidebars on sensitive questions such as those that relate to sexual abuse and media exposure. Full letter on Patreon here. In a conference on October 21st on that as scheduling issues, Judge Nathan denied a request to seal. Inner City Press live tweeted it here, podcast here. On October 22nd the draft jury questionnaire was unsealed and Inner City Press has immediately published it on its document cloud here, including have you or a family member ever supported, lobbied, petitioned, protested, or worked in any other manner for or against any laws, regulations, or organizations relating to sex trafficking, sex crimes against minors, sex abuse or sexual harassment? Photo here. After the death of Jeffrey Epstein in the MCC prison, on July 2, acting U.S. Attorney for the SDNY Audrey Strauss announced and unsealed an indictment of Maxwell on charges including sex trafficking and perjury. Inner City Press went to her press conference at the U.S. Attorney's Office and asked, doesn't charging Maxwell with perjury undercut any ability to use testimony from her against other, bigger wrongdoers? Periscope here at 23:07. Strauss replied that it is not impossible to use a perjurer's testimony, but how often does it work? At 3:30 p.m. on July 2, Maxwell appeared in the U.S. District Court for the District of New Hampshire, before Magistrate Judge Andrea K. Johnston. Inner City Press live tweeted it here. Also live tweeted bail denial of July 14th, here. In the July 3rd media coverage of Maxwell, media all of the world used a video and stills from it of Maxwell speaking in front of a blue curtain, like here. What they did not mention is something Inner City Press has been asking the UN about, as under UNSG Antonio Guterres with his own sexual exploitation issues, exclusive video and audio, it got roughed up and banned from the UN. Ghislaine Maxwell had a ghoulish United Nations press conference, under the banner of the Terramar Project, here. On July 5, after some crowdsourcing, Inner City Press reported on another Ghislaine Maxwell use of the United Nations, facilitated by Italy's permanent representative to the UN, UN official Nikhil Seth and Demir Dossal, who also led into the UN and in one case took money from convicted UN briber Aung Lap Seng, and Patrick Ho of SEFC China Energy, also linked to UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres. At the Ghislaine Maxwell UN event, the UN Deputy Secretary-General was directly involved. List of, some of, the participants on Patreon here. Inner City Press has published a phone of Maxwell in the UN with Dossal, here, but the connection runs deeper. Docile with 25 years of UN involvement was on Terrarmer's board of directors, one of only 5 directors, only 3 not related to Maxwell by blood and name. The directors, Ghislaine Maxwell, Christine Molina Maxwell, Stephen Haft, Christine Dennis and Amir Docile. Inner City Press is publishing this full 990 on Patreon here. Docile has operated through the UN Office of Partnership, with Antonio Guterres and his deputy Amina J. Mohammed, here, and the links to the world of UN bribery, including Antonio Guterres through the Gulbenkian Foundation, runs deeper. More to follow. Antonio Guterres claims he has zero tolerance for sexual exploitation, but covers it up and even participate in it. He should be forced to resign, and or have immunity waived. Terramar has been dissolved, even though Maxwell's former fundraiser, Director of Development Brian Urisides still lists the URL on his protected Twitter profile, also here. But now Inner City Press has begun to inquire into Ghislaine Maxwell's other United Nations connections, starting with this photograph of another day's, or at least another outfit's, presentation in the UN, here. While co-conspirator Antonio Guterres has had Inner City Press banned from any entry into the UN for 2 years and a day, this appears to be in the UN Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC, chamber. We'll have more on this, and on Epstein and the UN. Watch this site. The case is US v. Maxwell, 20 CR 330, Nathan, 20. To find out more, please follow the links on screen and in the description. Together, let's make sure justice is served.